The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Friday, February 20th, 2026. I'm Will Sterling, and really? What is going on here?
It's just another Friday and the new normal, Will. I'm Ashley Thorne, and we are coming to you from the bunker. The studio in Maine.
It's a barn. It's a rustic barn, Ashley, but honestly, it feels like a bunker today because the news cycle is it's relentlessly efficient right now.
Yesterday, we were talking about Prince Andrew getting hauled off at Sandringham, which, by the way, still the highlight of my week, and that ice surge during President's Day. But today, the machinery of common sense is it's hitting top gear.
It's a solid lineup today. We've got deportations to Cuba for the first time forever, the war over the $4.99 Costco chicken, don't get me started, and a absolute bombshell lawsuit against Apple that is going to change how we think about privacy.
And the UFOs. We have to talk about the UFOs because the ruling class, they're finally being forced to open the filing cabinets. It's a busy show, a really crucial set of updates. Think about it. Everything they told us was impossible is suddenly happening.
Let's be real. The only thing impossible was finding a politician with a backbone. Apparently, that's changing. Okay, so let's start with the border. Or rather, the exit door. According to Voz and Breitbart, we just saw something that hasn't happened in decades. A deportation flight with 116 Cuban nationals landed in Havana yesterday.
And it's about time. These aren't just people who overstayed a visa. Well, these are talking about the worst of the worst. One of the guys on that flight was Yondevis Wong Den Hernandez, convicted of second-degree murder in Florida. Another one, Raul Duquesne Batista, member of the Los Habaneros gang. Rape, kidnapping, 20 years in Cuban prison before he even got here.
And we just let him in? Why are they doing this? Why did it take until February of 2026 to realize that maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be the halfway house for the Cuban prison system?
Because the previous administration treated the border like a suggestion well. Now, even the Cuban regime is playing ball. That tells you something about the leverage the State Department is using right now.
It's the maximum pressure thing again, like we saw with Iran yesterday. If you don't take your criminals back, we'll make your life very difficult. It's common sense. But, think about the people living in Florida or Kansas who had to share a zip code with a Los Habanos gang member for years.
They hate you. The people who let this happen, they literally hate you.
Exactly. It's the victimhood industrial complex in reverse. They made the citizens the victims so they could feel virtuous about refugees. Well, 116 of them just got a one-way ticket back to Havana. I'd say that's a win for the weekend. Speaking of the working class getting a win, have you seen what they're doing to Costco? My favorite store? Really.
Oh, the great rotisserie chicken debate. This is peak 2026. Well, 2 class action lawsuits filed in Seattle. One says the chickens have salmonella. The other says they're lying about no preservatives because they use sodium phosphate.
Wait. This is a $5 chicken. You can feed a family of 4 for $5. And now these nonprofits, Farm Forward, who wants to end factory farming, are coming for the rotisserie chicken?
It's a targeted strike on a staple, Will. Costco sold 157 million of these last year. It's the only thing that hasn't tripled in price.
Right. It's a loss leader. They lose money on the bird to get you in the door to buy the 48-pack of paper towels. But the ruling class, they can't stand it. They want you eating the bugs, Ashley. They want the $5 chicken gone because it represents, independence? Affordability?
It represents a world they can't control. But honestly, if there's salmonella at the Nebraska plant, that's a problem. But these lawsuits, they aren't about health. They're about forcing ethical standards that will drive the price up to $20 a bird.
Exactly. It's the same thing with the A grades at Harvard. Have you seen this?
Yes. Finally, a faculty committee at Harvard wants to cap A grades at 20%.
20%. Think about it. 60% of all Harvard students were getting A's now? Is everyone a genius now, or is the degree just a very expensive participation trophy?
It's the latter. The median GPA was a 3.83. I'm sorry, but if everyone is special, no one is. They've realized that employers, the ones who actually build things, are starting to look at a Harvard degree and wonder if the person can actually read a spreadsheet, or if they just spent 4 years finding their truth.
Finding their truth. I love it. But, I mean, isn't it interesting? We're seeing a return to standards in the Ivy League. At the same time, we're seeing a return to enforcement at the border. It's like the adults finally walked back into the room and turned the lights on.
Or the market forced them to. Let's talk about a real adult moment. West Virginia's Attorney General, J.B. McCuskey, he just sued Apple. And Will, this is the one.
This is the iCloud story? I mean, I saw the headline and it made my skin crawl.
It should. McCuskey is alleging that Apple's iCloud has become the greatest platform for distributing child porn in the world.
Apple? The privacy company?
That's the kicker. They've been using privacy as a marketing brand to refuse to scan for CSAM, child sexual abuse material. According to the lawsuit, in 2023, Google reported 1.47 million instances to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Meta reported 30 million. Apple?
What, 200?
267. Total.
Shut up. Are you kidding me?
I'm not. And the complaint has internal emails from a former Apple anti-fraud chief basically saying we are the primary vehicle for this stuff. They knew. They just didn't want to hurt the privacy brand.
This is what I mean. The ruling class tells you they're protecting your data. They tell you they're the good guys with the sleek white stores, but they're actually providing a dark corner for the worst monsters on earth, because scanning for it would admit that they can see your files.
Bingo. It's a product liability shift. We're stop talking about speech and start talking about design. If you design a car without brakes, you're liable. If you design a cloud service that specifically attracts predators because you promise never to look, you're liable.
It's common sense. I mean, really. Before we go deep on the UFO stuff, which is where this transparency theme really goes off the rails, we need to talk about the man making this show possible.
Go for it.
Look, real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up. And don't limit yourself just to the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder and you support the mission.
Well said. Now, can we talk about the aliens? Because I've been waiting all week for this.
The aliens. I mean, what is going on here? President Trump just signed an executive order to declassify everything? All the UAP files? All the Pentagon records?
It started with Obama, though. Did you see the clip? He was on a podcast with Brian Tyler Cohen, and when asked if aliens were real, he said they're real.
And then he tried to walk it back. He went on Instagram and said, "Oh, I meant statistically because the universe is big."
Right. Too late, Barack. The cat's out of the bag.
Right. And then Trump, from Air Force One, says Obama made a big mistake and leaked classified info. And then he says, fine, if you want to talk about it, let's show the world everything. He's tasked Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of War, to open the files.
Think about the timing, Will. Why now? Why has the government been institutionalizing lying, as the administration calls it, for 80 years?
Because the ruling class thinks you can't handle the truth. They think if they admit there's something in the sky they can't control, the whole nanny state collapses. If they can't protect the El Paso airport from cartel drones, which we should get to, by the way, how are they going to protect us from whatever these UAPs are?
Let's be real, though. Is this just a distraction, or is it the ultimate FU to the intelligence community?
It's both. It's the transparency bomb. If you want to talk about saving democracy, how about you stop lying to the people about the very nature of our reality? According to The Guardian and Time, this directive is immediate. We're talking about videos, sensor data, wreckage reports, things that have been in the basement since Roswell.
Since 1947, exactly. And it ties back to the El Paso thing. We just had a drone incursion last week that shut down the airport. 34,000 drone flights in the last year.
34,000. I mean, really? CBP is saying the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJ&G, they have a dedicated drone operators unit. They're using $600 DJI drones to do counter recon on our border patrol.
And we're using directed energy systems now. Lasers, Will. We're literally using lasers to knock cartel drones out of the sky in Texas.
Our sky is a battle space. It's not just a line on a map anymore. It's vertical. And for years, the bureaucratic paralysis, that's the term from the research, kept us from doing anything. We let them fly over our military bases because we didn't want to interfere with civilian airspace.
It's the same mindset we see in the healthcare debate. We can't do that. It's too complicated. Meanwhile, TrumpRx.gov just launched.
Oh, let's talk about this. This is the pragmatism I love. TrumpRx.gov. It's a cash-only model.
It is, bypassing the insurance middleman. And look at these prices, Will. Ozempic, which was like $1,300 a month, it's on there for $200.
$200. Think about it. My neighbors were spending their whole mortgage on those shots. And Gonal F, the fertility drug, it's an 83% discount. The administration is literally joking about a wave of Trump babies because people can finally afford IVF meds.
I mean, it's a good line, but it's most favored nation pricing. We're finally paying what the Europeans pay. Why was the American consumer the piggy bank for the entire world's R&D for 50 years?
Because the pharmaceutical lobbyists own the ruling class. It's simple. Why are they doing this? Because they were paid to. But now you have a platform that just cuts them out. It's common sense. It's literally just a website where you buy the drugs for what they actually cost.
And it's funded by the EPA repeal. That $1.3 trillion they're saving by ending the endangerment finding on CO2, that money is being pumped back into the kitchen table issues.
That's the DOGE revolution. Elon and Vivek's team, 10-for-1 deregulation. For every new rule, you have to kill 10. I mean, really, can you imagine the sheer amount of sludge they're clearing out of the gears?
The We the Doers crowd is panicking, though. They're saying it's a constitutional crisis. No, honey, it's just called getting fired for being useless.
Exactly. Operational risk. The risk is that the government might actually start working.
Let's look at the global stage for a second. While we're fixing the drug prices and the drones, we just signed a trade deal with Indonesia. Jameson Greer, the trade rep, he just pulled off a miracle.
99% of tariffs. Gone.
And in exchange, Indonesia is giving us priority access to nickel and copper. We're literally cutting China's throat on the EV battery supply chain while prioritizing our own energy.
And Boeing got a $13 billion deal out of it. This is the art of the deal on a global scale. We're not asking for permission to lead. We're just making deals that make sense for Americans.
It's the same thing with the June deadline for Ukraine. The talks in Geneva, the U.S. is basically saying, you have until June to find a line on a map, or the checkbook closes.
It's about time. How much have we spent? $100 billion? $200 billion? And we still have people in East Palestine who can't drink their water. I mean, think about it. The ruling class loves a war 3,000 miles away, but they can't fix a pipe in Ohio?
It's the anti-victim mindset, Will. We're stop being the world's victim, and we're stop letting our own citizens be victims of bad policy.
But we have to end on a somber note, though. It's been a heavy week for icons.
It has. James Van Der Beek, Eric Dane, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Robert Duvall.
James Van Der Beek. I mean, 48 years old, colorectal cancer. I grew up with that guy on the screen. And Eric Dane, ALS. It's just a reminder that for all the politics and all the DOGE cuts, life is fragile.
It is, but Eric Dane used his last year to fight for research. Jesse Jackson, whether you agreed with his politics or not, spent 60 years in the arena. These are people who did things. They weren't just theoretically involved.
Right. They lived in the real world. Unlike the people who just settled that Epstein estate lawsuit for $35 million. Did you see that?
Oh, I saw it. The ghosts are finally paying up. Between Prince Andrew's arrest yesterday and this settlement, the Epstein chapter is finally, hopefully, closing.
But, really? 35 million? Does that cover the damage? Does that fix the lives of the women who were treated like trading cards by the elites? No, but it's a start. It's a reckoning.
It's a solid start to a long road back to sanity. Well,
Okay, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot, from Havana deportation flights to the Costco chicken war, from Apple's privacy scandal to the literal aliens in the Pentagon files. What is the takeaway?
the takeaway is that the Wild West era of the ruling class is over. The technology is being held accountable, the border is being enforced, and the truth is being declassified. Life is hard. Will, get a helmet.
Get a helmet. I love it. Look, they hate you. They really do. But for the first time in a long time, their hate is being met with what? Common sense? A little bit of backbone?
And a lot of DOGE cuts.
And a lot of cuts. All right, that's our show for today. Have a great weekend. Watch the skies. Apparently there's something up there. I'm Will Sterling.
And I'm Ashley Thorne. We'll see you Monday.
Stay sane out there because the world is still pretty crazy.